How you guys doing? I've always been a purist for wood sticks, but I saw that Virgin and Natty about a year ago or so, or 6 months, whatever, started at Andor's Techra, and I was curious about it. I decided to buy 4 pairs to test them out. Uh, so one of their main sales pitch, I guess, is the durability. The cost of one of those is a bit more than a regular pair, but if you count in as far the durability, I figured, well, if they last as long as they say, that means that basically I'm paying a handful of dollars a pair. So I thought, well, that's cool. So I'm gonna talk about the pros and cons of these compared to the alternative, the traditional wood or even wood and with nylon tips. So I've got here Virgil Donati's old brand. I'm pretty sure he's still with them somehow. Vader, Virgil Assault. I really like them. His new signature series with Techra, sorry, is Black Diamond. So there's a right away if I compare the weight, it's hard to tell for sure because wood sticks are never actually the same weight because wood is inconsistent. But the sticks I have in my hand right now, the carbon fiber one is a little bit more heavy. They have very close the barrel as far as like the size of it, very close. And the black diamond's actually about a quarter of an inch shorter, and the tip is not the same shape at all. So I want to start with the good news. I did play the Techra quite a bit. I would say right away, right off the bat, if you're an electronic drum player, those would be a solid choice for you because the carbon fiber, first of all, they're exactly the same weight. They're consistent throughout, so they're identical. And the tip, much like a nylon tip, would not affect mesh heads like a wood tip would. Okay, so this is not so much a video about electronic drums, but yes, mesh heads wear out faster with felt beaters on bass drums and wood sticks. It's just something I learned from working in retail. So fast forwarding to playability of those, I would say it's a 10 out of 10. They feel great. The hardness, they're actually quite hard. I would say one of the main downside is the tone, but it's actually kind of a different tone as opposed to being kind of a letdown. I'll demonstrate in a minute what they sound like with the right cymbal. I find the right cymbal is probably the most sensible instrument I got on here, with the exception of the snare drum. But the snare drum doesn't really let you hear the stick as much as the ride would let you hear the stick. I'll compare with these. I'll compare with the Assault, and I also have a pair of 2B nylon sticks. I'm gonna fish it out and compare, so you'll have a pretty good understanding of where they sit tonally. So let's go back to durability. This is a pair I used to record an entire album, a death metal album. Okay, pretty heavy music. I'm not the heaviest hitter in the world by far, but I'm not exactly gentle either, right? I think I have a pretty good technique. But when I in the studio when I record metal, I do hit quite hard to get a clean signal out of my drums and my cymbals. So this represents about 20 hours of playing extreme metal. That's all I use those for since I bought them. Uh, one of the main thing I would say is the tips are in excellent shape, and even after I put quite a bit of strain on them, I would say that is much superior to a wood stick. For some reason, my wood sticks, the tip's always pretty much the first thing to go, almost always. I'm gonna start losing sides of it. Here I've got, I'm pretty sure I've got an example in my bucket here. So here you go. So I lost the side of this. So even though the stick is still somewhat usable, it's getting flat, but now I lost like quite a bit of that hitting surface. So this is now pretty much done. It's pretty much cooked, right? I may use something like this just to practice on my own time or fool around on the kit, so I don't just kind of use my good stuff. Just save a little bit of money, right? Just use it as long as it holds together. But this stick, as far as playability, is pretty much done for, as far as I'm concerned. So these ones, even though, so obviously there's a bit of wear on here from grinding on the hi hat and so on, but they're still in great playing shape. I've got another example here. Here's a pair, my second pair of Black Diamond. Um, Black Diamond 2B, all right. And this is wear and tear after one show. So the day I got these, I played one pop show with this. There's a bit of hair on here, some cat hair. With and well, it's like an R&B singer songwriter called Alexis Lynn that I used to. She hired me a few times to play live with her. So this is after one R&B show. So the music I was playing with her, uh, when I play live, I play pretty loud, especially in the setting we were playing a smaller club. I didn't have overhead mics. So I wanted to make sure that my sound was projecting to the back end of the room. So you can tell after a 35, 40 minute set, I gave these a good go, but there's still a lot of playing to be made with these. By the way, all the sticks I ordered from Techra with this batch are all 2Bs. So let's talk a little bit about the series. So yeah, Black Diamond, old and new. You can see here. Then they have this one called Hammer of the Gods. So another shout out to that company is all their names are super catchy. So that's awesome. I like when people you know consider their brand as like an artistic thing as opposed to be just like Supra, or 5A, something. So this is great. Hammer of the Gods. I gotta say, of all the ones I ordered, these are my least favorite ones. These are the ones I feel the weight distribution feels like they're heavy at the end, at either end, and kind of hollow in the middle. So it's kind of a weird balance. Uh, I didn't get that with the other ones. Still a really solid choice. I think those ones, in my opinions, if I had to play a hard rock gig or like a traditional kind of heavy metal gig where it's not so much about speed, it's really about laying it in there and playing through the drums. I think those are great because they have a lot of forward motion, like um, and yeah, Hammer of the Gods, right? So they kind of feel like hammers. Um, I think for heavy rock playing, heavy metal playing, awesome. The ones I decided to use to record the blast beat techie kind of like nerdy album with also ghost notes, blast beats, fast double bass, and breakdowns, right? Everything. The Colossus. Those are the ones that impressed me the most as far as what I really like in a stick. So just feels great, balanced throughout. They're massive and they sound huge, but they're also very light, not too heavy. Just a great stick to blast with. I have like larger hands naturally. I prefer a larger stick. So I ordered the 2Bs. I can't remember if they make them any smaller. Colossus, anyways, for just an all around balance and like sound delivery. Definitely my absolute favorite out of everything I ordered. The Black Diamond, I would say, kind of sits somewhere between both. Um, I feel they feel more kind of like a chubby 5A. Like they're a little bit narrower, or like not a chubby 5B. That's what I mean. So kind of like an extreme 5B kind of thing. Pretty cool. I'm really happy with those. Definitely something that is very versatile. You can play a lot of different styles with it. And that's kind of why I took them out to the show. I was going to try them out, and I found that these would be really suited for that R&B kind of like pop, heavy pop, like pretty heavy big bag beats and all that style. Okay, so the next thing, well, you want to hear how they sound. So here, I'll grab the new pair of Black Diamonds. And one of the things I do when I test sticks is well, I'll test the how they sound when I play them like claves, like against one another. So you can hear they're identical. They're perfectly identical, pitch match, way better than any wood stick would ever be. And because the carbon fiber is impeccable in terms of density, it's the exact same density, probably a molecule away, if anything. Excellent, very excellent, great balance. The hardness. If you're worried about breaking cymbals, I would say maybe, I don't know, if you're a really hard player, if you really don't pay much attention to your technique when playing on crashes and whatever, I would think those would probably chew up splashes pretty fast or 10 crashes. However, personally, uh, I don't know if you could see here, like my set, they're all vintage Sabians. I've had some of those for nearly a decade or over a decade, and I still play them. They still sound great. They're not broken. I have a video on cymbal maintenance you can watch. It's kind of long and poorly realized, but check it out. I am giving out some real life information in that, and you can check it out here or there. I'm not sure where it's gonna end up when I finally edit this thing. Okay, so enough of that. So this is how the Black Diamond sounds. Okay, I kind of hear a difference, but it's not from the stick, it's from my hands. There you go. Yeah, great. So what about compared to a wood stick? Well, let's hear that. Let's hear the other Virgil Donati, uh, Vader Assault. Nice, very nice tone. Okay, so there's no compromise there. Wood will always sound warmer, more rich, whatever. I, I don't know if you're aware, but it, sticks definitely make a huge difference in your sound. So if you're buying bargain bins, $3 pairs of sticks, and you're wondering why your sounds maybe not where you want it to be, well, start paying attention to your wood selection. I usually will go through a bin of sticks and cherry pick those already cherry picked sticks, and I keep my room in here at 50 or 55 moisture, between 45 and 55 percent of humidity. That's ideal to keep my shells, my guitars, and my sticks uh, perfectly hydrated, and that's how I'm also able to stockpile sticks and they stay great, as opposed to drying out and just becoming crappy and cardboard kind of sounding and breaking right away. So that's it. So you hear it like this. One last thing before I start playing the ride with different sticks, I want to say these ones they come straight from Italy. I haven't found a North American dealer. Mind you, I've been playing them for a few months now. It's been quite a while. I've been meaning to do this video for a while. So maybe they changed. When I ordered them from Italy, I paid with PayPal or something, and I've got a bunch of emails in Italian from the posts. I could figure out that it was from the shipping service they were using. So don't freak out if it's all Italian. You're gonna get them. I got those from Italy within about a week or a few days. I can't remember. It was pretty quick. The value to durability, like even though the price looks a little bit spicy at the checkout, I think it's definitely worth it in terms of value as far as durability. As long as you like the way they handle, I would say yeah, definitely. If you it's good. It's this carbon fiber technology I saw. We're in Canada here. Long McQuaid has another brand that's Dutch, and they look virtually the same as far as manufacturing. So my guess is it's a technology that came out in Europe, and people are licensing it and putting their stamps on it. I didn't do any research any in that. I'm not an engineer. I'm not interested in starting a carbon fiber stick company, but that's how I figure that's it's happening. So you might be able to pick some carbon fiber sticks locally before you buy Techra, but I think if you're a drummer and you like playing with sticks, you're probably gonna like those either way. All right, so I'm gonna reset and we're gonna do a sound check. All right, so comparing, I'm going to start with the Virtual Reality Vader's Assaults and give you an idea what they sound like. It's a great ride. It's modern essential ride. I like it. All right, the next one I'm going to do, I'm going to compare with a 2B Pro Mark Hickory with a nylon tip. Okay, so you're going to get the idea of what a nylon tip sounds like. I'm going to do the shoulder because it's wood. So there you go. And then finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, I'm gonna use the brand new Black Diamond I got, give you an idea what it sounds like on the ride here. So I could tell a lot colder, but very articulate. And when I was recording and the mix, the album I recorded with this band from Quebec is not out yet. It's gonna come out in June, and they're gonna do the announcement and all that stuff. So it's a band that has been around. Check out my Facebook page for some hints. And I found that it was actually really cool for cutting through for the cymbals, especially to cut through the very like their guitar, the working guitars were like wide open, like they're all the frequencies, right? So I even had to EQ some of the actual demo guitars. I had to be able to hear my click and my drums while recording. So, but I found that these the Colossus were crazy, like at cutting through and making the cymbals sound very bright, very pure, very aggressive. So, kind of like using a heavier guitar pick. You know, if you play guitar with a pick, or even like picking on a bass, like you know, it just kind of gives you this extra edge. I thought it's kind of like that, you know. So here's the Colossus on the right finally, so you can hear the kind of like a difference. These are totally my favorite. Like kudos Techra. I'm definitely gonna buy those again. Uh, I guess I should finish with the Hammer of the Gods and do that same comparison so you can hear them. They're a lot heavier, a lot fatter. Um, Trying to think what they remind me of. Just like crazy. Like if I had to play with Pantera, I'd probably play with that. You know what I mean? Or a band like that, like just heavy, fat grooves. All right, so we'll see when I do the editing. I'll see how these actually come through the Zoom. I'm recording through a Zoom for this, so none of these microphones are on right now. I didn't want to bother with bouncing tracks and whatever, so I just recorded with a Zoom H4n going through an interface going through my phone. So that's the phone camera. It's my Samsung that from years ago, whatever. Um, Hope you guys enjoy this video, and well, help me out, like and whatever that YouTube thing you do. Cheers.